I should turn on the transcription as well. Oh, it says it's on. Um, okay. One of the recent ones didn't have transcription. Anyway, welcome everybody. We're happy to have you here today. KeyUpX, you're welcome to unmute and join in at any time. We're going to do a contributor training today on improving, editing, adding blogs to DDEV.com. It's such an important community resource that we really like to have people sharing their techniques and their needs and their problems and their workarounds there and fixing things when things are broken. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And see how we do here. I only have the regular screen and it's kind of cluttered. So I hope things work out here. I don't have a way to see people's chat or anything. So speak up if there's anything that I should see or know here. Uh, you can't see the Zoom components though, right? You don't see the participants on the screen, or do you?
No, we see only Chrome browser.
Okay,
It's
good.
opened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you very much. So, okay, but I can't use the Chrome browser because the thing's in the way. Let's see if I can hide it. Hide floating meeting controls. Now, how will I ever get them back? Okay, making progress here, maybe. DDEV.com, as you probably know, is where we have our, yeah, let's go to we have our introduction to DDEV here. We have our get started. We have a link to the docs, and then we have blogs. But most of what's here is the blog. And a lot of times those things have a tendency to get out of date and need some help. And of course, we need new ideas and new techniques there. And we always welcome contributors to do that. So that's what we're going to be working on today, contributing to DDEV.com. DDEV is an open source community, and DDEV.com is set up to help that open source community work. So back in the day, this used to be a WordPress site, and if you wanted to fix something, you had to open an issue and somebody with permissions had to fix it. But today, you can click the link, you can click the pencil on it, you can open a PR against it. It's all a static website, and we're happy to have contributions. And so it's much, much easier to make contributions or edits or improvements there. And of course, we invite you to pursue ambitious things too. Stas is often doing ambitious things, making pieces of the project of the site work better, that kind of thing. So speak up anytime, as always. Otherwise, I'll just keep blabbing. So what we're going to do is show how you can fix errors. As you know, because you work in the tech world, things get out of date and ugly pretty fast. So I'm just going to open up this blog here, setting up a Go development environment, which probably didn't get as much editing as it could have. So you see, it says installing Go on different operation systems instead of operating systems. And it says, here's Randy IDE of choice is Goland, that kind of thing. And so let's fix at least those two things. So I am going to go and say, edit this page. And we have noticed that there's a problem. So we can edit it. I'm going to just click the edit this file button now that we're on GitHub. And because I'm a maintainer of this, it's not going to insist on a fork. But if you're not a maintainer in the maintainers group on the DDEV org, you would have to create a fork, but it just walks you through that. There's really nothing to it. So I'm going to say edit it, and I'm going to change the update date. Let me just see what the correct way to do the update is. Modified date. So this is what we want here. We're going to add a modified date to it. We'll update it to today's date. And so here's one edit. Installing Go on different operating systems. And cloning the repository, the role of make docs. We're going to say Randy's IDE of choice is Goland. It'd be interesting to see whether some of this is getting pretty out of date. It doesn't look too bad to me. Looks like we have the things that we wanted to do. I just wanted to demonstrate those two things, and now I'm going to do a save on that. So I'm going to say commit changes, and if I weren't maintainer, it would ask me to do that. It looks like GitHub Copilot did a decent title for us here. And I'm going to give this branch, like we like to name them, and I'm going to say proposed changes. And that's proposed changes is the same as open a pull request. Um, and I'm going to create a pull request. So there we have made our contribution. We have fixed the thing. It took us moments to do it. And in just a moment, it will have a preview ready for us, and we'll take a look at that. We'll let it work right now. It's working on that preview. Does that all make sense? Stas, I know this is very exotic stuff. But
Yeah, I usually don't edit the pages like this.
no, I have started on occasion when I just see a typo in the docs or here, I do just click that and you know, and that way I get it done faster than checking it out. Or maybe it's faster, or maybe I do it while I'm remembering it, which can be useful. So, so that's, oh, it didn't do what if I had done a forked PR, which is not what the path that it took me on, then it would have taken a couple of more minutes. But as it is, here's my new here's my new branch preview. I'm going to open the branch preview and take a look at it. And I'm going to navigate here to the blog, and I should be able to search for it. It's this one. And now it has updated today on it. And now it says installing Go on different operating systems instead of operation systems. And it says Randy's IDE of choice is Goland. So that's looking good. Now I can take and edit that in the issue that we have here. and then I can ask Stas for a review, and he'll probably approve it and pull it. Who knows what'll happen then? But that's all it takes to fix an error or an update or anything else that you find or need there. That's You just click that edit button and go for it, and it is fine. Eric, welcome. Feel free to chime in anytime. We
Oh,
don't
were you
have a,
saying hello to me?
I'm saying hello to you. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Where are you in the world, Eric?
In Brooklyn, New York.
We're glad to have you here today.
Well, I've always been interested in DDEV. I'm a regular user of it. I'm so sorry I'm late. I just saw the listing for it, so I won't hold you up. But I think it's great, and we use it all the time. And I write custom applications using it, and it's just the best.
We're very, very happy to have you here and to have that feedback. What we just did was we found some errors in this blog post here on DDEV.com, and we edited them just by clicking the edit this page, and that automatically led us to create a PR for it because DDEV is a static HTML website which is run on Markdown. And so we created a PR for that, and who knows, maybe the PR has already been pulled. It's been approved, but maybe that Stasidev fancy guy will actually pull it, and then it'll be live on the website. But that's all it takes is click, do an edit, and there it is. It's being processed already on the website. So click this works on DDEV's docs as well. There's a little pencil there, and you can quickly make an edit. And as Stas said, sometimes, I mean, if you have a non-trivial edit, you would not do that. But if you have a trivial edit, sometimes I will see an error in the docs or something that could be stated just a little bit better, and I'll just click the edit button instead of checking out the whole thing. Okay, so there's our first step of just doing a simple change, that something that needs to be done. You know it needs to be done. You can do it in the web interface if you want to. Um, Now, if we want to do a blog post or any other significant change, we can do that too. It's very, very straightforward to do. And uh, we welcome you to do it. So, Eric, for example, you probably have particular expertise from from the things that you do for your custom sites, and sometimes you realize that you're the expert in that territory, or that you have solved a problem that maybe not everybody knows how to do. And we encourage community participation and blog posts on that. If you look at the blog posts, you'll see a number there that are not written by the maintainers. Here's the Tailscale one that went up recently, explaining how to use the Tailscale VPN for sharing projects. Um, we had we had this nice one. That's Stas and me still. But we had how to downgrade Terminus. So Bill Ceramentis discovered he pioneered exactly what to do with Terminus when they upgraded it and basically made it so that it wouldn't work with, I think, PHP 8.0. And so there's an easy way to fix that in DDEV. And he published it and explained it. It's a little too obscure a problem to deal with. For putting it in the docs, because it's a solution to a very new problem, to a very old situation that's very niche. Um, but a blog post is a great place for it and makes it quite discoverable on the internet. So he did that. Garvin Hickling did it with the legacy PHP application. bringing up an old PHP application. Another great topic for specialized use of that.
No, I saw that post. Very helpful.
Have you had to do that?
I have not, but it caught my eye. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good I assume it works fine. I mean, I'm running one Drupal 9 on one of my DDEV instances, Drupal 10, Drupal 11. So it's very flexible that way.
Let's see what he was actually doing. I think he was doing a typo 3 4.5. I think they're on 13 or 14 now. A
Wow.
4.5 with MySQL 5.5 and PHP 5.3.
Wow, that's ancient.
Yeah, and he got it going. I think he used no, he did. He went and added a service for 5.5 and he did PHP on a different service, which is a good way to do it. I just did that for PHP 8.5, the same thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's the kind of thing, that so often all of us run into problems and we solve them, and sometimes they're niche problems. And if we share those, they're going to be useful to somebody in the future. So we just encourage that blog post. The starting place for a blog post is do open an issue so that Stas and I or anybody else can make suggestions about what we think will make it the most consequential approach to it. And then you just check out the repository for the website. And what I always do is copy a similar blog post. Um, if you haven't done one of these before, then you can add your author profile to source content authors. Let me just show you what I'm saying here. So here's ddev.com, and I'm looking at it in Goland. It would look exactly the same if you were looking at it in PHP Storm or whatever. And the key elements for a blog are in source. Here's source and content, and blog has all the blogs in it, and the authors has all the authors. So there's nothing to the author besides using your name there and giving a blurb and pointing it at an avatar. The avatar can be, as you see here, he used his Gravatar avatar. Here, Alberto used one in the image directory. Bernardo used one in the image directory. Bill used something in his own site, et cetera, et cetera. So they all work fine. So, but the blog, for example, I need to do a blog. So I'll just give it actually, let's just create a blog. I need to do the October newsletter for 2025. So what I'm going to do is open the DDEV September newsletter. I can't see it here, but if I search for that in the files, I should see it. DDEV September 2025. And so what I'm going to do with this, and I'm not going to follow it all the way through, I'm going to copy this and make it the October newsletter. And I do have content lined up for that, but I'm not going to do it all right now. In the front matter, sure, I'll add it to Git, and I'm going to do, I'm going to replace September with October. And this one is obsolete because we just those two are obsolete because we just did them. We have the November one coming up. I hope to see you in November. We'll talk about DDEV with Windows, WSL. And let's just say that I'm ready to, um, kind of ready to get started with this one. I'm not going to finish um, doing what it has, but let's just say that I had finished that. I'm then going to create a PR for it, and I don't have to do anything more right now in the I don't have to do anything more right now with the author because my author entry is already there. And of course, I have plenty more to do in the content here, but this gives me a good start. Maybe I'll even get to work on it later today. And let's open up the I'm going to use regular. Here's the changes that we've made. GoLand was happy enough to add that, and I am going to check out I'm going to do a git fetch upstream, and so there I have it. And I didn't open an issue for this. Like I said, um, the issue would be a good place to discuss the content before it went in. I've been keeping that content in a Notion note, thinking about it, and nobody else, maybe nobody reads the newsletter at all, but I'm usually the only one that adds content to it. Um,
No, it's good. It's really good. I also want to compliment you on the DDEV documentation. Whenever I have a question, I can just pop it into the Google, and I mean the AI wants to go first these days, but then if I go to the DDEV site, it's usually got it right there, right the answer, just what I'm looking for. So you know, good, good work, good on you.
Thank you very much, Eric. We do work hard at it, and the community works hard at it. And when people raise a question in Discord or Slack or all the different places, we do take that as a sign that maybe it isn't good enough in the docs yet, and we do try to put it in there. How do you use the docs? Do you do a search first? Is that the first thing you do?
Yes, let's see. So yes, I mean the go-to, the search engine of choice. Like we're in this changing world right now, so it's a little hard to say. But the search engine of choice or the browser of choice is always for me has always been Chrome. So hit the Chrome, what we're now calling the prompt. You type in the URL bar, and just put and it over time it just evolved into just asking the internet the question. I suppose that's the opening for AI to step in as it has in such a big way. And that's where I'll find anything that I need. Last time I had any problem with DDEV, wow, it's a long time. Like something was stuck or something was broken. I mean, the whole thing is configuration. So if you really get frustrated with it, just trash it all and just start over.
Yep, that's the professional way, right?
All right. Trash is the wrong professional term, right? DDEV delete, I should be saying.
Uh, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and commit this. Um, uh, I want the October.
Yeah.
I want the October newsletter starter. And now I'm going to push that. And I'm going to push it to my fork because anybody can push to an open source fork. So my fork is named RFA. And then it gives me the link for a PR. And let's see if the link comes out right. Oh, the link doesn't come out right because I was experimenting with DDEV test earlier. Normally the link would be fine. I got to get rid of that other thing. So I'm going to say starter for DDEV newsletter, October 2025. And it doesn't really need much more of the normal stuff than that. And I'm going to say create a pull request. And I'm doing this as an ordinary user. So this as an ordinary user, these checks will run. We may have to enable them if it's your first PR, but these normal things will run and create a preview so we can actually use the preview online. I can also, while that's going on, I'll show you what I can do. I can in the DDEV.com directory, I can do a DDEV start, and it will show me exactly how to preview that on my local machine. So I'm going to do that while the other one is getting ready. Because community contribution is so important, we do love to make it so that people can usually do things like this, so that they can see things without straining at the markdown, so that they can see what it really looks like on the website and those kinds of things, because we do want those community contributions. I am on a very slow Wi-Fi. You should have seen me at the Cake PHP thing today, telling them to do a DDEV start and pull all the images with 30 people in the room. So what technology do you work with, Eric, or framework or CMS?
Let's see, I'm a Drupal developer. So I run a large multi-site with Acquia for the government. So, you know, not not exactly busy this week. So, so
We're
you
glad to
know,
have you here.
yeah, well, I've been a fan of DDEV since the beginning. It was like Lando. In 2021, Lando was like, "Oh, this is great, this is great." But then I remember when the defining moment for me. I had already really switched over to DDEV and writing a custom application where I could make one command and have the whole site build for me in DDEV and get it all ready. Based on my custom database and my custom code and all the rest of it, the composer and all the rest of it. Right. But the one side was when I got this job on the multi-site and I tried to load up Lando. This was 2021. So I assume Lando's gotten better since then. This was 2021. So I tried to load up the Lando on the big site that I run, which is like 500,000 or so nodes, right? And 3 hours later, I'm still waiting for Lando to load. And I'm like, well, I have
Ooh.
DDEV skills. Let me drop a DDEV in here and see if it's going to get better. I had a slow computer back then, like an i7 or something like that. Right. So I dropped DDEV into it, just dropped it in. And then 18 minutes later, I had a website running on my local system. It was like, okay, that's the end of that discussion as far as I'm concerned. But I assume Lando's gotten better.
But was that on a Mac, on a new,
Yeah. Yeah,
was
well,
that
no,
on an
this was
Apple?
old. This was previous. This was like an in that
Oh,
day,
oh,
like an i7. When I got that computer in 2000, whatever, 15, 16, if it was a fast computer, but it wasn't a fast computer in 2021. Then when I got this computer, which is a M3 Max with 48 gigabytes of RAM, I run all the DDEVs on my local computer. I mean, excuse me, all the sites on my local computer at once,
yeah,
and the computer wouldn't even know it. Right?
right,
It's just
right.
just
Yeah.
I want this particular one. I write this one. I want this particular one. I write this one. Just and that's
Back
all. That's all DDEV. So it's really great stuff.
back in that time period, a number of people had problems with, Lando was dependent on the Bitnami images, which refused to do ARM64 images. And so Lando was stuck on that for quite a long time. And of course, I assume that Lando has had an immense amount of pain now because Bitnami quit the business.
No,
They went private. So that is a terrible thing for Lando. And it has one slight effect on us. We use Bitnami images for our MySQL 8.x images, or we used it as a base. So we're not in any trouble in the short term because we build our own images and we built them against their public backup, basically. But that Bitnami thing was Bitnami was a great set of images, and I don't, and I always thought that Lando's use of them was smart, but it handicapped them for a number of years. So I'm talking too much. Here we are. It came up. It told us where the HMR version of the URL is, and this is locally. So I can open that now, and if I then remember how to get rid of this, get rid of the thing that's in front of me that you can't see, and then I'll be able to show that to you. We can go to the blog, and here's our October 2025 newsletter showing up in the preview, and I can click through to it and see everything that is not yet written in it. But we did update the contributor training so that it only shows next month's training now. So that's a step forward. So that's our local preview. But while we were doing that and while we were chatting, the GitHub preview came through for us. So now it opened up, and this would work for any of you. It opened up a complete preview online that anybody can use. And so if I open that now, and that gets updated.
was it running tests in the interim?
It also ran tests. So
Uh,
it ran the test here, which does prettier and text lint. So it's just looking for um, simple grammar or non-standard usage. It seems to whine about things that I wouldn't whine about, but it it's a step toward consistency anyway. So
right.
it ran the test on it. It made sure that it could build at all. I'm not sure that with a blog change you can break anything that way, that would really break the test. So it ran that. We can go to that publicly built blog and navigate to the actual newsletter. And I normally take and put that into the review here, and say a quick way for somebody to get to it. This is not intended to be in ready for review at this point. I clicked the wrong button. So I'm going to say convert to draft because it won't be ready until I actually work on it. But it will become real. And there it is. And it's we have created a PR, we've created a contribution and done what we needed to do for that. So that's our starting point for creating a blog. I guess we did everything on this page. We've done the local preview and we've done the pull request for the blog post. And the README, let me stop there and see if there's any questions or comments about what we just did.
Would you be willing to talk a little bit about your text linting and your prettier thing steps
Absolutely.
in the testing?
Sure. Actually, we can take a look at them. That's a fine idea. So if we go out here to the DDEV.com repository and we go into the .github here, the workflows are the Cloudflare preview forks, which is for forked PRs. That's how forked PRs can get built without any secrets being disclosed. But the normal workflow is done here in test.yaml. So when we have a pull request or a push on main, it goes and these jobs here are done. So it checks out. Let me slow me down if this GitHub Action stuff is not familiar.
Following along so far. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. And here it installs dependencies that we have. Then it does a text lint. And text lint is running against a .textlint RC that we have. So I'll show you that in a second. And then prettier, which is just a formatter, checks the formatting. And we have both of those tools in the local development environment as well. So if we go to the TextLint RC, here's what it looks like. And it insists on, if I often use ARM64 in lowercase, and it will be mad at me then. And I often use bash as lowercase, and it will be mad at me then, and I won't get it right. I often type PHP myadmin with the capital P on the front, and it doesn't like that. So, and these can be added with a simple PR as well if we see things going into the content that are not that great. And then the prettier doesn't have a lot in it, but it does have in particular, there's not a lot in this one, this prettier. I'm not even sure what single quote false means. Do you know, Stas?
It's like maybe do not use single quotes in text. Replace this with double.
Yeah, maybe it just won't let you do that. Yeah.
Or it pretties them up. Right,
What's that?
instead of a straight quote, it makes a typographic quote.
Yeah, well, actually, we don't allow typographic quotes, so maybe that's part of it. We do the rendering to typographic quotes on render and don't allow it in the code because they break all those
Yeah.
break all
Yeah.
code. We don't want them anywhere.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a typographer from way back, so I can tell you, yeah, I'll give that up just for simplicity's sake, But
I know. The original the original contributor, a wonderful contributor, Matt, who made this astrocyte go, is very much a typographic weenie kind of guy. He
right.
insists on things being perfect, and he wanted us. He originally was wanting typographic quotes, and I just like stomped my feet and had a fit. Um, but instead of that, he figured out how to render them typographically, which is a fine idea. Yes, do it at that level, fine, but don't accidentally
Right.
put stuff in my code when people are copying and pasting and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Particularly when you're learning, stuff like that can get so confusing.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But people who care about typography think it's very important. So it's great to have it's great to have a compromise there, and it was
Yeah.
brilliant how he worked out that compromise. Now, there are other things that can be fixed, and feel free to bring up anything, but the README here in DDEV.com tells about the structure of this. And of course, there is a link also in our presentation to how Astro works, how this is set up, what the project structure is here, and local development, running it without DDEV, running it with DDEV. I always run it with DDEV these days. And I guess we should remove this switching from, and then managing content. This is what we're going over today. And here's TextLint and Prettier and how to use them. And then sponsor management is a common thing. We got a new $100 a month sponsor yesterday, and Stas went right in and put them in. He found their logo and put them in like this, and that was a big win. And of course, it's an unusual and very pleasant day when we get a new sponsor at that level. So, but that's, oh, and short links is another. It tells here about short links. We have short links for things like Discord. So it's got all the things that you need to know there about DDEV.com in the README, or you can edit it and add the things that you discovered that we needed to know. So, and of course, as I said earlier, you're welcome to fiddle with the Astro site itself. Stas regularly finds things that he thinks can be improved, and he improves them. And anyway, just basically, we appreciate you. We appreciate the entire community and your contributions on this, because it is a community and we can work together to make these resources improve over time, which is a great thing. So, but the floor is open for any questions, comments. We're really happy to have you here, Eric, and we had a few more people show up. All right. Glad to see you, everybody that came. Truls came, and Pierre Paul came. Excellent. Glad to have you here. And we'll get this, we'll get a blog post wrapped around this and put it up on YouTube pretty soon too. So feel free to speak up if you have any questions or thoughts or anything else. Hello to everybody from Madrid, where I spoke to the Cake PHP people today at their Cake Fest. They're having a great time. Yesterday, when I looked at we flew yesterday, and I looked at my calendar and I said, "Oh no, this is going to conflict. I can't." I thought this was at 8 o'clock in the morning, which it is my time in Denver. And it's at 4 o'clock here, so there was no conflict, so I can do this from the hotel room. Well, without further comments, I sure appreciate you, and look forward to seeing you at our next November one, if you're interested in DDEV on Windows, which is really fun. So thank you, KeopX and Pierre Paul, and everybody have a great day. Thanks so much.
Thank you.